Hey everyone, this is Dijon, and I'm here with Arturo, J. Daniel, and Carlos. And today we're talking about phones and people who use them.
Phone addiction.
Phone addiction. I'm not addicted though.
If you have your phone.
That's the problem.
Stay tuned. Okay, so is phone addiction actually like a real thing?
Yes, of course it is.
Definitely.
Don't you ever like go to a restaurant and then see everyone on their phones and they're like sharing a meal together? Oh, that annoys me. But yes, everyone's on their phones all the time.
Okay, but annoying is different than a phone addiction.
I've seen
It's annoying.
someone walking down the street and running into a pole because they're on their phone. Like,
But-
you're addicted. I've seen it more than once.
Okay, so they're stupid.
many people.
But that doesn't mean you're addicted.
Okay, so then there's also people that I know that are younger and their parents decide to take their phones away and then they can't live without their phones, so they start tantruming, slamming doors, screaming. Some of them even start cutting. And like, what does that say about their connection to the phone?
It means that those parents shouldn't be buying those kids phones.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, what it's also saying is that those kids have a phone addiction and they feel at least that they need it.
So is it a phone addiction or is it like the new social norm? Because I feel it's just a social norm now. We don't like it because we're in the transition period, but I've seen kids who are like 9 and 10 and they don't think they're just on their phone. It's not a big deal. They're just, and that's just how they are. Like if you see a group of young kids and they're hanging out, they're just all on their phone. But that's the new social norm. We are in the transition period because we grew up with not having it and then having it, and so we see this transition and we don't like it because it's not our norm.
Well, I like having a phone, so I'm not saying that I don't like people having phones.
But I mean
or
like being
their
on
phone,
it.
or being on their phone. I just think that there's a time and a place for the phone.
I think it puts up a wall for socializing because I've gone out and you're having conversations with friends and you're trying to have a good time, and then there's always one just on their phone, and it's like, join the conversation. Like,
We're here in front
we're
of
here
you.
together. This is
Yeah.
the point of us getting together, and it's like you're checking social media, texting. And
But at the same point, we all do it.
Yeah.
We all do it to an
So-
extent. Like, I'm very careful about when I do it, and if I am sharing a meal with someone, I make it a point not to check my phone until like that person goes to the restroom, or if I need to use the restroom and then after I use it, then maybe I'll check my phone. But it's not, I'm not going to the bathroom to check my phone. It's not about
But that's
that.
you.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying, that we don't all do it. Because what you
Right.
said is that we all do it, and we don't all do it.
But not only that, so this is a problem. But not only that is because the fact that you are consciously thinking about not doing it says
Right.
that is a problem
Right.
that you constantly have to
Right.
think. Because that's the same thing with
I
me. I used to
agree.
do that all the time when I go to dinner, and it was like, why are you always on your phone? So I now, like when I'm at a dinner table, I just put my phone away. You know?
Yeah, you're
So-
stopping the urge to check it,
Exactly.
which means you still have the urge to check it.
Correct.
So you
then
just
there-
have more willpower maybe than other people.
So there is that.
But-
there.
But the fact that you're like, I'm gonna consciously not check my phone, that means you have the urge to check your phone.
Okay, so then what you're saying is that it is an addiction. Because what you're basically saying
But
is that you're having this urge to like check your phone and you have strong willpower. That sounds like someone that's an alcoholic or a drug addict.
No.
Like it's
I
there,
think the word
it's
loses
available,
meaning.
but
No,
and
the
they get
word
the
addiction
urge, but they
loses
don't
meaning
use it.
when you apply it to everyone. When as a society, this is the new social norm, that word addiction loses meaning because then everyone's addicted, so then no one's addicted.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's kind of like coffee,
Yeah.
caffeine.
We all use coffee, so we say, oh, it's no big deal, it's coffee.
Mhm.
But there's an actual diagnosis to coffee
yeah,
addiction.
there is.
But we all meet that diagnosis, and that's why there's controversy.
And again,
around
I
it.
go back to we don't all meet that diagnosis because, like, I hate coffee.
I think the majority of people without a mental health issue would meet that category. And,
Oh, I know.
to say they have a mental health issue then
yeah.
loses meaning.
Yeah. But like I always joke around with people and tell them they are addicted to coffee. because they literally go through the withdrawal
But you're
system and they have
joking.
headaches.
But you're joking.
And I'm joking, but there's truth to it. I mean, if they don't have their cup of coffee
But that goes
in
with
the
anything.
morning,
With like
they-
soda, you go through
So let's put it this
withdrawals.
way.
With you do go, but I mean, you can go through withdrawals by having a lot of soda and then stopping it.
But almost
Ask
That's just a
yourself-
natural,
but ask yourself
right?
this
That's just a
question.
like.
Ask yourself this question: if you had nothing like really pending on a Sunday, can
And
you
you're
put
on
your
your phone.
Can you put your phone away for the entire day and not?
Can you, John?
You know, like just everybody
When
ask
is the show
themselves.
over? I have a message I need to reply to.
You know? So that's what I'm just saying. Like if you can't do it, it's a problem. You
Is
know?
it
Like,
though? So what's the problem? Like you guys are talking and not like what's the problem?
So like right
What's
now,
the
let's say
problem?
we were talking,
Right, so what's the problem?
and you were on your phone. Well, for me, okay, so I can't speak for anyone else. I want to have a conversation with your face. Not on your phone like that. You should have taken a selfie and we should have posted it.
I mean, well, there you go.
Um,
you
and-
converse with me.
No, but see what I mean? Like, it does put up that wall, you know? In my opinion, you know, it puts up that wall. And I think you're right in the sense that because we didn't grow up that way, maybe I think that it pulls up a wall. And maybe kids nowadays that are used to having a phone the whole time, they're both on their phones and there's no wall there because that's just the norm.
what?
I mean, what's gonna happen with those babies who have iPads now?
Yeah.
See, I
But here-
What's gonna
that's
happen?
another
But what's
issue.
gonna happen
Yeah.
with them?
Happy
And like, in 10 years,
that happens.
it's literally just a screen. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, as far as the reactions that you were mentioning, like kids overreacting and like throwing tantrums and all that stuff, when that gets taken away from them, I honestly have, just going back to personal here, but I used to do the same kind of thing whenever they'd go like, no TV for you for a week, you know, because you did something, and I'd throw the biggest tantrum. Then no computer for you for so long.
no video games.
See,
Right.
but I think there's a difference between throwing a tantrum, and that's why I went to the extreme to really say someone that's cutting themselves and someone
No,
that's
yeah,
saying,
But that
was
happened.
from-
I mean,
Because
people
that
were cutting
happened.
themselves
When you're
before
considering
phone
suicide.
addiction.
yeah, and there you go. And so what is that problem?
Depression is the
that's-
problem.
Well,
That's part of it.
That's a big
But
problem.
what's also a problem, if the only thing that causes me that
But,
depression
but
is
we
you
know
taking
it's not
my
the
phone
only thing.
away,
Though, but that would not be the only thing. You would not be
the only identified thing at the moment.
Oh,
We
but
know,
that's
we know.
different.
It's just like, okay,
That's
again,
different.
it's just like alcohol and it's just like drugs. The moment you take that away, you're left with that depression. You're right. And it comes from somewhere else. That's totally
Right.
Well, here's
correct.
the other part.
But they are still addicted to that
But
substance.
here's the other side of addiction that maybe we're not talking about. Is, you know, it has an actual meaning, like a medical meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So part of addiction is that if we remove this, you would go through withdrawals and you could possibly die. That's part of why you have to be under doctor's care, because if you remove alcohol, that person runs the risk of dying without it because they are addicted to
Okay,
it. If you remove the
so-
phone,
so let's-
you're not going to
So,
die.
it's by
You're not
example,
gonna
by
die.
example,
You're not gonna
that
die.
if you take that phone away from that person that is addicted to their phone and then they go and commit suicide, then they would have died because you took that away from
No,
them.
I feel like you're making several jumps.
I don't.
I think the big problem is
I don't think
so.
this is the norm. We need to accept it, or
Okay,
not.
so
And
I
that's
also
it.
believe as a society, why did they put a law that you can't text or use your phone when
Because
you're
that's
driving?
unsafe. Not because
It's
you're
still
addicted. It's an
at the
unsafe
same time
behavior.
people are using it all the time, even though there's a law that constantly tells
People
you
don't
that you shouldn't
wear their
use it.
seatbelts, even though there's a law, and people die because they're not wearing their seatbelts.
Okay,
Well, that-
so I think this is a topic that we have a lot of opinions of. So let's just say
There's one.
and review what we have established today.
That clearly they don't know what addiction is.
No,
and that-
we have not established that. We have established that we have different opinions on the fact that you think that having a phone, that you can never be addicted to it. I think it is possible. So we've established
you can
that.
have an unhealthy attachment to your phone.
I think that the differences come in
Word,
the severity
word.
of the problem.
Yes, and then that's what we established too, right?
So whether it's something that's really not much of a deal, is becoming more of a social standard now, or if it's actually something that needs to be treated and it needs more.
Yeah.
I think if you have an
Exactly.
unhealthy attachment to your phone, it can be treated. I think if you're talking about people just texting while you're talking to them, I think that that's a social norm. And you may not like it. I don't like it sometimes.
By the
but-
way, it's not just young people that are just on their phones and whatever.
It's
Because
old-
older
it's
older
old people,
folks,
too.
this is they're constantly
Not all
because they might not be on their phones just texting whoever or playing whatever, but they're like on their phones talking while
yeah.
they're trying to have a conversation. Like no,
yeah.
like
Very
calm
true.
your goddamn-
So do I
Again.
have the right to literally smash the phone out of your hand if you guys are talking like on your phone and I'm having a conversation?
No, it's my phone.
If it can be
Well,
reciprocated,
so-
yeah.
I don't do it, so I don't care. So that's what we established today. A lot of different opinions, a lot of different thoughts. Thank you for watching. Hey everyone, thank you for watching It's Tea Time. Please follow us on Instagram, It's Tea Time Official, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, It's Tea Time. Bye.
Bye.
Shit. Let's do it again.
Hey everyone.
Snake kissed the group.
Hey everyone, this is the John, and I'm here with Arturo. What's your name?
Wow. Ay, it's gonna fall.
Is that one of those waterproof ones?